Not gonna lie, I felt pretty stuck lately, like I'm glitching in a Skyrim dungeon and getting sniped by a farmer, not being able to leave. When I made this channel, I wanted it to be a safe space where I can just talk and open up without worrying too much about what viewers or the world would think. And I don't think I've been true to myself when it comes to that. I have a million ideas for content and videos, but they just stay that, ideas, and never get recorded and put into existence. And not because I'm lazy, I think, but because it all feels so overwhelming. And since I want to post more on here and be more honest about my thoughts and experiences, I thought I'd make a video about it while playing my favorite game. I watched a really good video on this topic by Soul's Improvement on YouTube. I will link it down below. And something he said hit me in the face like a brick. Ambition without action becomes regret. I'm sorry, what? Okay, Plato.8. I relate a lot to that statement because I have a shit ton of ambition, but actually making all my plans and ideas happen, that's another thing. Reflecting on it now, isn't it just about commitment and discipline and wanting to see yourself succeed? I mean, if you go to the gym 4 times a week for months, you will see results. And if you practice the guitar an hour each day, you will see results. The same should be true for YouTube as well, am I right? I guess there's more that comes into play here with the algorithm and all. But time passes anyways, and you might as well do the work that leads you closer to the goal. My mom is super into manifestation lately, and she told me that if your goal is to have $500,000 on your bank account, for example, and you transfer, say, 50 euros every month or every week, consistently, you will eventually get there. Granted, it will take time, but do you see where I'm going with this? So the actual obstacle here is getting myself to do the work. Not even the work itself, because I really enjoy recording and editing, so what's my problem? Oh my god. Side note, if you think I'm playing weird, I am. I'm role-playing and trying to play differently than my normal stealth one-handed vampire. So there's that. I owe it to myself to live the life I want to live. And for that to happen, I owe it to myself to be disciplined and committed, not just dreaming and in my head. That's another problem for me. I have a vivid imagination, right? So I'm in my head a lot and visualizing and daydreaming about the life I want to live and things I want to experience. But that doesn't serve any purpose if I don't act or do the work to actually get there. And of course, I know that, but I just feel stuck and a little helpless. I took a micro step today and watched some inspiring and motivating YouTube videos on this topic. Usually I just push the thought of action far back into my mind and ignore it. And maybe those videos are the reason for me actually recording this today. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to my experience, which feels kinda nice, but also sad. I'm glad to not be alone in this, but I'm also sad that it's a common experience for people in my age in this time. And not to sound like a complete boomer, but I think social media and that damn phone has a lot to do with it as well. I drown in other people's happiness, travels, brand deals, and abundance online. Okay, picture this. If the shore is my life, right? Like my day-to-day life, it sometimes feels like I'm on this pool float animal thingy and drifting further and further away from the shore with each reel that I scroll. Knowing getting back to the shore will be more and more demanding, but not being able to stop. And all of a sudden I'm like in the middle of the ocean and I can't even see the shore, you know? We do have a responsibility for our own mental health to moderate what content we consume online, which is why I unfollow people I just don't want to see on my phone. But the algorithm likes to feed us with damaging shit still, and being completely aware of the message of each reel or TikTok you watch isn't super realistic either. I mean, we're just people. Scrolling is the devil, I guess. And don't get me started on AI. Holy shit, that pisses me off how people willingly shut off their brains and ask a chat to think for them, as AI uses millions of liters of clean water to help keep the system cool. While not everyone on Earth has access to clean drinking water and the Earth is slowly dying. But okay, moving on. Examining my current situation, I see multiple areas of improvements. And I acknowledge that when multiple areas in my life demand improvement at once, it can be pretty overwhelming for me. And I understand that this is probably why I feel stuck now. I'm struggling at work, losing motivation to get out of bed in the morning. And then there's the, I should work on YouTube right now. That always looms over me. But I think dissecting each problem as separate issues might help rather than just lump them together and go, oh, everything sucks. My life is in shambles. That's why I'm applying for new jobs and also sitting myself down to record this. Consistency leads to habit, and when the habit is formed, I won't have to stress about this as much because shit will just happen, out of habit. Another thing that might make me feel a little stuck is not being myself fully all the time. In social interactions at work, I feel myself not being me, but rather be who I think my coworkers want me to be. But I'm no actress, so I'm sure I come off as inconsistent and strange because of it. I came across a YouTuber named Pearly who inspired me a lot because she is herself 100%, and that is so satisfying to see. I have been noticing the inner me pushing and pulling me in directions I currently find a bit scary. For context, I've always been very empathic as a child. I cried all the time. If someone in kindergarten got hurt, I'd cry because I felt bad for them. If I saw literally any movie where anything remotely sad or heartfelt happened, I'd cry. But as I grew up, I lost this part of myself and I started viewing people who cry a lot as weak, or I thought I was weak if I cried for quote unquote no reason. I don't believe this anymore though, but I still find it hard to cry in public. But expressing feelings in a public space is beautiful and honest and raw, and I want to be like that because I used to be like that. I want life to feel more fun and whimsical again and not bleak and gray, and no one will make that happen for me. Nothing can make that happen for me. Not winning 30 million or moving to Japan. I'm the only one who can make my life feel more fun and whimsical, and to do that, I need to change my mindset. But that's the hard part, isn't it? I do hard things all the time though. Okay, that's not weird, but you get my drift, I hope. I want to bring more whimsy into my life, so therefore I have to make that happen. In baby steps, probably, but babies get around just fine, right? I don't know. I don't have one of my own, thank God, but I digress. I guess what I want with this video is to be more authentic, honest, and more me. Because being ambitious is great, but lacking action is not. I hope some of this made sense, and if you relate, you're not alone. And you do have the power to take control over your life. A lot of people today do not because of war and famine and their rights being stripped away from them. And I'm super privileged to not experience any of that. And I'm sure someone would do anything to be in my shoes, even if I don't want to be in them right now. And that's something to think about. I think we can come a long way with gratitude and commitment. So that's what I will be focusing on moving forward. And I hope you can see it in my future videos. Thank you for listening. I love you and believe in you. Bye now.